This 26 Sports and CCTV high school basketball presentation is presented by Cadillac Casting Incorporated.
36-35, the Cadillac Vikings lead the Gaylord Blue Devils here in Cadillac. Jay Simon alongside Eric Richards, Wyatt Van Dynen running the show from the truck for us tonight. And I'm a terrible play-by-play guy. I do not have the names of the hardest working crew in television, but I will have those. I promise you, you will find out who these young people are bringing you these high-definition images here on My News 26 and CCTV. Wyatt will whisper them in my ear later, and I will write them down. But this has been a good one. We were hoping back on February 1st, an overtime thriller. Cooper Benson with the long three-pointer to give the Vikings a one-point win in Gaylord. The Blue Devils hoping to return the favor as we start the fourth quarter here in a one-point game.
And a steal by Genema.
Genema will get past Coonrod and lay it up and in. Genema's first bucket of the game, incredibly. He's been such a dominating player on defense. There's a nice feed, May, to Jordan Gopinski, who's checked back into the game to start this fourth quarter. Keegan Brooks trying to answer with the three, no good, and Charbonneau with the rebound. Frenetic pace to start this fourth quarter.
Kind of how the second or the third quarter started.
And they're going to get Landry for the travel. There's not a high school kid in the country who thinks he committed a travel in that situation.
I don't think there's anybody in the country that plays basketball that thinks they've ever traveled, Jay.
Oh, I have. Lots of times. Not going to lie.
Not me. Not ever. Not once.
That's because you stand behind the three-point line and pull.
Well, there's that.
You don't do anything else. Brooks, nice feed for Kahani, but a little too hot. Kahani not able to corral it. And Mark View of the Cadillac Evening News showing his athleticism with that great pass to the official. Can bet I'll be sending him a link to this segment.
He was like a cat going after that ball.
Like a big cat, absolutely. Yeah, we're going to get an offensive foul on the Blue Devils.
Gaylord starting to shoot themselves in the foot a little bit here. 2 turnovers in a row.
.650 to go here in this one. 1-point game, Vikings with the lead. Benson working against Coonrod. Baker using a Kahani screen. Fires and drains the three.
You know, I was going to say this is where the Vikings need to settle down and get themselves a good shot, and I didn't have to.
Isn't that a good shot to you?
That was a great shot.
Anything beyond 20 feet is a good shot to you, isn't it?
Well, if I'm in the gym, I'm open. You know that.
Charbonneau, the quick turnaround, can't get it to go. And the Vikings now with a 4-point lead, threatening to blow this open. Oh, Baker missed an opportunity. We got a 3-second call in the paint, so the Vikings will turn it over. Boy, Tip Baker had a golden opportunity to pull the trigger. Our good friend and fellow member of the Brotherhood of Bald Men, Kevin Gregory, you know he would have been ashamed of Baker for not pulling that three in the corner after the defender flew by.
I'm ashamed of him personally. If Kevin was here, he would have yelled at him. I would have yelled at him. If that was me, Kevin would have yelled at me.
Yep.
I would have yelled at Kevin. Kevin and I yelled at each other a lot.
I believe that. Vikings picking up the defensive pressure here. Landry, though, open for an open three at the top of the key is good. Jared Landry with his second triple of the game. He's got 9, and it's a 1-point game once again.
It's a good quick release by Landry, not giving the Viking defense any time to get there.
Brooks fakes the handoff. Landry. Oh, nice feed to Genema, cutting to the basket. What a bounce pass and a court vision.
Heads up play by Genema to see that back cut and take it.
And we're going to get a foul on Baker. Baker thought he had all ball. Say he got the arm. So we get some substitutions for Cadillac. Kahani and Baker will sit down. Maddox Hoagland and Aiden Raphael will check in. 43-40 Cadillac. Sorry, it's the radio guy in me. 5:20 to go. You can see that. You're watching this on television. Rowley to Wilson. Wilson gets by Genema, another block from behind by Genema's 4th block of the game. And then Raphael can't hang on to the pass, and the Blue Devils will pick up the turnover, but Vinny Genema, I guarantee you, has a minimum 4 blocks in the game. 2 from behind like that, and 2 3-pointers blocked straight up. As Charbonneau lost the handle, got it right back, stayed with it, and Blake Charbonneau with his first bucket of the 4th quarter. 43-42 Cadillac.
Catch your breath, buddy.
Man.
There's a lot of action going on here.
Sure is. Keegan Brooks to the tin.
Oh, my goodness, Keegan. No fear going over the big fella.
I got to remember, I don't have to talk all the time, right?
No, you don't.
I don't have to describe everything. You can see it.
I can say stuff, too. I mean,
Feel free. Sorry. And now we're going to get another offensive foul. Mitch Wilson, who has checked back into the game for the Blue Devils, Eric, vehemently complaining that his jersey is being held.
He is upset.
Yep. Nobody ever holds jerseys on the inside or away from the referee's vision ever,
You
right?
know,
Eric?
basketball is a game of love. And the Vikings are just showing him some love.
That's
all it was.
Yeah. It's a nice jersey. What's it made of? They're
Right.
asking him, right?
How flexible is it?
Raphael for 3. Yes! Aiden Raphael off the bench knocks down the triple in the corner, and the Vikings have a 6-point lead. And now we're going to get a foul on Charbonneau, holding on to Brooks. Offensive foul on Charbonneau, so no free throws for the Vikings, but it's the 9th foul on the Blue Devils.
Things are starting to get
This
a little
is
testy.
slipping away, yes. Coach Johnson, I got to figure, is going to get a timeout here sometime soon, and right now. There you go.
It's like you told him to call
I
that,
told
Jay.
him to, that's right. Well,
I think you needed a timeout.
yeah, I think I might have. Well, here's your timeout, Eric. The Blue Devils right now falling apart, but that's largely because the Vikings defense has really amped up in this second half.
And they're making shots. I mean, Keegan Brooks went into attack mode there for a couple possessions. Genema, man, the Blue Devils are going to have nightmares. I think they're going to be a little gun shy for the next 2 or 3 games, thinking Genema is going to jump out of nowhere and block their shot. I mean, quite honestly, Genema has been all over the floor. Tip Baker, hustled back and made a play after making a mistake. Right now, this game is really about the Vikings' determination to not lose this game on their home floor. They're playing excellent defense. They're scrappy, and right now they're getting all the loose balls.
Vikings have a 6-point lead with around 4 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. Vinny Genema has 4 points in this quarter, but he has at least 4 blocks in this game. He has twice blocked 3-pointers straight up and twice on the baseline allowed defenders to get by him and block them from behind clean.
Yeah, Vinny's not allowed to play against me. You can't be blocking 3-pointers.
Vikings against some full court pressure from the Blue Devils. They have not seen this game yet, and there's a steal. Rowley to Charlie May, and we're going to get a blocking foul on Tip Baker. That's a great call. Baker getting there, but not getting in front of May. Just the 6th, though, on the Vikings, so the Blue Devils will not go to the line, but they will inbound. And that's one of the keys. If you don't use a full court press and suddenly you show it late in the 4th, teams don't know necessarily. It'll get you a couple of quick turnovers.
Yeah, you got to mentally be prepared to face it, and the Vikings just weren't ready.
Rowley, 3-ball, good!
That's a big boost. For
Nick
the Blue
Rowley
Devils.
has 4 triples in the game, Eric. And it's a 3-point game. And then May hustling back, blocking that pass intended for Raphael down low.
Now the Blue Devils are being the aggressors.
That was a great timeout that Coach Johnson called. No, that was just smart. Great time for it, and it has his Blue Devils fired up.
Are you going to try to collect a paycheck from Gaylord tonight, are you?
Brooks, step back 3, yes!
Oh, big one, big answer.
Keegan Brooks with his 3rd triple of the game.
Showing some senior leadership right there, hitting a big shot when needed.
Landry with a quick pull. Yes!
Oh my goodness.
Are you kidding me? It's like Kevin Gregory and Eric Richards playing horse.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
And now Hoagland nearly threw it away, but Cooper Benson comes up with it. And we're going to get a timeout from the Vikings as nobody came to help Benson, who did not have his dribble at the top of the key. 3-point game, 51-48. Say something so I can count these threes.
I was going to say, I like that timeout by Bensonburg because the Vikings looked like they need to be catching their breath. They looked a little shell-shocked after what Gaylord just did, with the full court press and then the big three, and then Keegan had a three, and then the answer. I think Coach Bensonburg kind of saw what was going on and was like, okay, we need to catch our breath and talk about what goes on in case they try to press us again, what we're doing wrong defensively. They're giving them open shots, things like that. Last 3 minutes of the game, good timeout.
Cadillac has knocked down 8 triples on the game. Gaylord has knocked down 7, 15 three-pointers in this game tonight. Gaylord continuing to apply pressure. Wilson chasing Hoagland down, finds Brooks. Raphael into the paint. Raphael, everybody stepped away, and Aiden Raphael
like
to the 10.
Red Sea just split right there.
He's got 5 in the quarter.
Raphael says thank you.
It's a 5-point Viking lead. Landry working against Hoagland. Nearly faked himself out of his shoes with that stop and go.
Hoagland wasn't letting him get that.
Hoagland is not going to let Landry shoot a 3. And Cooper Benson's not going to let Rowley shoot a 3. Rowley stops and pops. Glass no good, but Hoagland's going to pick up the foul going over the back of Blake Charbonneau.
I like the effort by Hoagland, but that was a good call. He was over the back.
I think this is probably the most athletic lineup the Blue Devils have shown us, the 5 they've got on the floor right now. Rowley and Landry can knock down 3s. Wilson, although he's only got 2 points, has shown great defensive prowess and ball handling. And then you got Charlie May and Charbonneau go 6'3", 6'4", can still rebound. They've still got a size advantage, but boy, the foul shooting is Charbonneau needed that front end, and he can't knock it down. Blue Devils have struggled from the line tonight. And the Vikings now with 2 minutes to go, content to dance around, and we're getting an offensive foul on Brooks as May stepped in his way. Keegan with a little sly smile as if to say, I don't really believe that, but
I don't think he liked that call.
But the other thing, I think if you're Coach Benzenberg, do you really like Brooks trying to take the ball to the rim with a 2 minute to go and 5-minute lead for a 5-point lead against that many blue shirts?
If it was there, yeah, I don't mind it, but it wasn't there, so I appreciate his aggressiveness.
Absolutely.
He's trying to make something happen.
Certainly. Charbonneau, kick out, Wilson. Rowley, quick pull, yes!
Oh my goodness.
Nick Rowley with his 5th triple of the game.
And Baker was right in his face.
Brooks with a quick triple, back iron, and that'll go over the basket. Should have been out of bounds, but in any case, Blue Devil basketball. 2-point game, 53-51 with 1:20 to go. Wilson for 3!
Oh my goodness.
Are you kidding me?
Now the Blue Devils go up 1. Nice pass.
Raphael on the other side. He's going to get fouled by Rowley.
Oh my goodness.
We are coming down to another fantastic finish here in Cadillac. 1:09 remaining in this one, and Aiden Raphael with a chance to put the Vikings back up by 1 with 2 free throws.
And Gaylord has hit the magic number of 54. They're at 54 right now.
They're going to get a timeout.
We're hoping that average doesn't hold true.
Right? It's the last full timeout, I believe, for the Blue Devils. They may have a 30-second timeout left. I'm going to assume they do. I doubt Coach Johnson would call one here if he didn't have a second timeout remaining. Coach Benzenberg, I think, has at least 2. 54-53 Gaylord.
And Gaylord is shooting the lights out this last, 2 minutes?
From 19-9, they're doing great. It's from
Man.
15 they can't hit anything.
Right. I mean, I wonder if they could request a step back behind the three-point line to shoot free throws.
You can pretty much shoot it. There's a certain distance you can back up from the line, right?
I
don't know what it is.
I would suggest that if I was them.
How far back can you go? I don't know the rule.
You know, I don't know. I've never really.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I always shot well from the free throw line, so I never really worried about it. Like I said,
you
I
got to be able
well.
to shoot from the free throw line in order to continue playing, right? Isn't that the rule?
That one of the rules, sure. Another rule is supposedly to play defense, but we both know I don't play defense, so that rule's out the window. Raphael comes back to the line, down 1 with 1:09 left in this game.
Raphael, no good.
And the last time I saw them play, the last 2 minutes, the Vikings struggled with their free throws.
Aiden, one of the few juniors who sees significant time. Finds the range on the second, and we are tied at 54.
Attaboy. Way to step up, Aiden.
Gaylord with a minute to go. Mitch Wilson working against Genema.
Right now, you really want to dig down deep defensively if you're the Vikings, and if you're Gaylord, you want to run a good set. You tie game, you really want to try to have the last shot as possible. Run a good set, get a couple screens, make a mismatch somewhere.
Well, as hot as Rowley's been, if he gets an open look, I got to figure he'll pull. I think the Blue Devils want the last shot. We'll see.
I would keep it in his hands right there, Landry.
This is Mitch Wilson. Oh, we're going to get a 5-second call before the timeout. Mitch Wilson gets called for the 5-second call, and with 32 seconds remaining, the Vikings will have an opportunity to get the last shot.
And Wilson's got to be careful right now because that's the second time that he's been very, demonstrative towards the refs. And I understand, young man, you're emotional. It's a good game. You're playing hard, but when the refs call something, don't dig your hole deeper by doing what you're doing. Throw the ball back to the ref, go back, play defense.
Tied at 54, 32 seconds remaining in this one. Well, back on February 1st, we went to overtime, and then Cooper Benson won it with a 3 at the buzzer for Cadillac, 60-59. Might they pull off another buzzer-beating victory here?
Well, we wanted a good game. We're getting one. I could see this coming down to Brooks keeping the ball in his hands. He's this half here, he's really kind of taken control when things have kind of fallen apart. Wouldn't mind seeing him going strong to the basket. If he gets doubled or tripled, have him kick it out, because the way Vikings are shooting, an open three-pointer is as good as a layup, really. So I personally would use Keegan Brooks, go to the basket, and see if he can draw some help. If not, take the layup.
Ryan Benzenberg is one of the best at drawing up plays out of a timeout. We'll see what he's got dished up for the Vikings.
And he made sure that Brooks got the ball there.
Yep, the senior, Keegan Brooks, will bring it over the timeline. Working against Landry.
Better get rid of it.
Landry, Coach Johnson screaming for the 5-second call.
Yeah, it was real close.
Brooks over to Genema. Baker, 7 seconds. Benson for 3. Yes!
Oh! Cooper Benson is Gaylord's worst nightmare right now. Oh my goodness.
Did we get a timeout? Did we get a timeout?
Oh my goodness, Cooper Benson.
Officials are discussing this. The Blue Devils, remember, did have a timeout remaining.
Oh my goodness.
Because Mitch Wilson wasn't able to call it on the 5-second call earlier. And yes, they did. So we'll see how much time they put back on the clock. We don't know because it's a full timeout and they do the timeout clock.
Right.
So we don't know how much time they're putting on. I think they're going to put 2 seconds on the clock, Eric. 2 seconds for the Blue Devils. They're probably going to have to go
the full distance.
Full distance, yeah.
Put your biggest, tallest, lengthiest, maybe even Genema, because he jumps so high.
That's
on
my
the
question.
ball.
Yeah. So a lot of teams.
Absolutely, put him on the ball.
And now I'm being told maybe 1.7 seconds. We'll see when this timeout ends. But remember, the Blue Devils do not have another timeout, so they have to inbound this ball. At least I'm pretty sure they don't have another timeout. A lot of teams will not put a player on the ball because they want to, defend the best player with 2 or something on the other end. I like what you're saying.
I personally would put Vinny Genema on the ball.
You got to go full court. You got
have
to get
to.
this at least near half court to get any kind of decent shot off. Why take the chance, right?
Vinny Genema has to be in their minds with his athleticism. What he's done tonight with his ability to jump, and there he goes.
So there you go, 1.7 seconds. Eric Nostradamus Richards calls it. Vinny Genema will defend. Nick Rowley will throw it in, and now the Vikings will take their last 30-second timeout to talk it over.
It doesn't take a degree in basketball to realize.
No.
Put Vinny Johnson.
Put the pogo stick.
Because,
Genema.
I'm sorry.
Vinny Johnson. Kids, Vinny Johnson was an NBA player for the Pistons back in the 80s.
Bad boy days.
Long before you were born.
Yeah, put Vinny Genema on ball because he's made so many plays because of his ability to get off the floor, his length, and how quick he gets off the floor. It's not that he just jumps high. He jumps high quickly. He explodes off the floor.
Boy, if the Vikings can defend this, Eric, that will be 2 wins over the Gaylord Blue Devils for the Vikings, both by Cooper Benson three-pointers.
Long three-pointers.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Here we go. Nick Rowley will inbound. Rowley throws it the length of the court, and it hits the rafters. And that means it'll be Cadillac basketball under their own basket.
And that was created because they respected Vinny.
Because he had to go over the top of Genema.
Yeah. Absolutely brilliant decision right there by Bensonberg to put Vinny on the ball.
Blue Devils will try to foul instantly. Oh, nearly stolen by Charbonneau. And this is actually a bad thing because it took a half a second off the clock. Charbonneau knocks it out of bounds. Vikings will trigger again. All you can do now is get a steal and a desperation heave. Benson, and taken away by Rowley, but they call the foul. And Cooper Benson, with 0.3 of a second remaining, will go to the line to ice this one, and it will ice it because you cannot do anything other than an alley-oop with 0.3 of a second remaining, and you can't get 3 points for an alley-oop, I'm told.
Well,
I know that disappoints you.
It does, because if it could happen, it would happen in this game.
Cooper misses the first. There's an awful lot of laughing coming from the truck. Have you noticed that?
I have heard it.
Benson can't make the second.
I think he missed on purpose.
But that's purposeful, likely, yes. Cooper Benson started the game with a triple for the Vikings, and he ends the game with a triple for the Vikings. His only 2 baskets on the night, but none bigger than a 3 with 1.7 seconds remaining, giving the Cadillac Vikings a 57-54 win over the Gaylord Blue Devils. Wowzers.
Wow.
Eric is speechless.
I mean, that was just a great game to watch.
It sure was. We will get Eric an opportunity to collect his thoughts so that he has something poignant to say, and our stats, and be back with the post-game show. You've been watching Big North boys basketball action. The Gaylord Blue Devils fall 57-54 to the Cadillac Vikings. We'll be back with the post-game show here on My News 26 and CCTV right after this.